MicroStrategy made sense 30 years ago in the era of Microsoft. We were a strategic consulting firm that used computers. And we wanted to send the message that we were a computer-savvy strategic consulting firm. But then eventually everybody used computers. And then using computers isn't really that special anymore. And micro really seems de minimis given our ambition. And over time, I would say 35% of the people would say, so tell me what's going on with MicroStrategies. So how are things at MicroStrategies?
Bitcoinzilla stands out with its simplicity and clarity. We've crafted an experience that anyone can dive into, whether you're a crypto expert or just a new to the crypto world. Now guess who keeps his eye on us? The author of best-selling book Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. And we want to take this opportunity and thank all the people who trusted us, and we read every comment. And the best part, it's free. Subscribing now means you will get all new information for free. Don't just follow the trends, stay ahead of them. Subscribe to Bitcoinzilla today and enjoy the new edge. Michael Saylor dives into banks, crypto, Fed rates, and why Bitcoin matters more than ever. Curious how it all connects. Let's hear him out and uncover the big picture.
I think that Bitcoin is critical because, as I said, it's digital energy, and that makes it a digital economic system. And if it's a digital economic system, it means that a billion AIs, a billion computers, can swap energy and swap capital, things of value with each other at the speed at which they can think, friction-free. And when you think about what's going to power the robots, what's going to power the driving cars, if I want to release an AI into cyberspace and have it live, if I want my AI that represents my interest to actually negotiate with 10,000 other AIs every second, it's going to be on a digital energy network. It can't be on a physical or a financial network. So with that as the fundamental, right, the countries that will embrace this first will be the most pro-innovation, pro-technology countries. The obvious one in the pole position is the United States for two reasons. Because the U.S. is the most powerful country in the world, and because the U.S. has the most enlightened leadership in the world right now. Over the past 4 years, I've met with regulators everywhere else in the world. I've talked to politicians. If you talk to people in Mexico, in South America, in the Middle East, in Europe, in Asia, they're all looking at whether or not they have permission from the United States to do this. And everyone is afraid to get out from underneath that permission because they feel like they would be cut off from the banking network of the world. So no innovation generally takes place outside of the U.S. except by extraordinarily brave gray market actors. And you can do it, but you can't. You can act in the gray market, but you'll never get more than 1/100th of the capital, right? So if you want the entire industry to grow by a factor of 100, you have to do it with a legitimate path. The actor with the legitimacy right now is the United States. After November 5th, what you got was a pro-innovation, pro-digital assets president. And by the way, that's important, but history is littered with examples of candidates that make promises on the campaign trail, and then after they get elected, they slow roll it, and they say, yeah, well, we'll get to that, but in 2 years, in 3 years. And they appoint people, or they promise you to get elected, and then they appoint cabinet members that disagree with you, and they're like, well, I would do it, but the secretary of whatever doesn't want to do it, or whatever, it's more difficult.
Bitcoin is making serious moves again, blasting past $95,000 and igniting a fresh wave of excitement across the market. Over the past week, BTC has climbed more than 11%, and now traders are buzzing about whether $103,000 could be the next big milestone. Analyst Titan of Crypto fueled the optimism, pointing to a bull flag breakout that suggests Bitcoin might be gearing up for a powerful rally. Meanwhile, whales are showing no signs of slowing down, with wallets holding between 10 and 10,000 BTC aggressively adding to their stacks. Market sentiment has shifted sharply into extreme greed, the strongest it's been since Bitcoin's last peak in November 2024. Analytics platform Sentiment noted that if retail investors panic and sell now thinking a top is in, whales could quickly scoop up their coins and push the price even higher, potentially above $100,000 within the next couple of weeks. Technical analysts are also keeping a close eye on key Fibonacci levels, where Bitcoin has shown strong resilience. Adding even more fuel to the fire, Michael van de Poppe suggested that Bitcoin could be at the start of the biggest bull cycle ever, following a brutal 4-year bear market. If momentum holds, the next week could be a defining moment for Bitcoin.
Think about it. Whenever you come up with a compound word that is not really in the English language, you're working against the core genetic protocol of all human beings. How many people have learned English? Billions, right? How many hours of your life do you sit in classroom learning to speak proper English? How to spell English words, how to pronounce English words? A lot. So what's the perfect brand? The perfect brand name would be an English word that 1 billion people were taught to spell at age 6 or 9 that was defined for them. If you're going to be successful in life, you need a good strategy. You need a business strategy, a financial strategy, a family strategy, a career strategy, a media strategy, right? And when you fail, it's because you had a bad strategy. And so what we've done is we've taken a word that billions of people know, that they can spell, that they understand. And as they say, the design is not complete until there is nothing left to take away, right? And you see that Steve Jobs epitomized that with the iPhone and Apple. And Elon Musk is famous for saying the biggest mistake that engineers make is they optimize a process that shouldn't exist. And we thought about it, and we said, why make people pronounce 5 syllables and write so many extra letters and misspell the thing? And if you meet 10,000 people, how do you feel about correcting 4,000 people because they made a mistake? Or maybe you make it, how about this? Make it impossible to make a mistake, right? And what we did is we kind of made it impossible to make the mistake. And now we've just made it easy and elegant. And so that's really the thinking behind our strategy.
Bitcoin ETF in the U.S. just posted an explosive week, pulling in over $3 billion in new investments. This surge has pushed their total assets under management to $109 billion, with BlackRock's shares Bitcoin Trust, IBIT, leading the charge. The momentum comes as Bitcoin continues to separate itself from traditional assets like gold and stocks, attracting more investors looking for a true safe haven. April 22 and 23 were especially strong, with nearly $1 billion pouring into ETF each day, some of the best single-day performances seen since Donald Trump's return to the White House. Analysts believe rising geopolitical tensions and global financial uncertainty are making Bitcoin look even more attractive to institutions. Since dipping below $75,000 earlier this month, Bitcoin has bounced back sharply, now trading above $94,000. Some experts like ARK Invest David Puel predict Bitcoin could soar as high as $2.4 million by 2030 if adoption continues at its current pace. If you've been with us so far, a big thank you. Don't forget to subscribe for free to Bitcoin Zella for your daily news. The link is waiting below. That's all for today's crypto news. Stick around for more updates, insights, and analysis on cryptocurrencies. Share your thoughts in the comments, like this video, and subscribe for more exciting content.